Good morning, all the audience. It's my privilege to be here. All of us have experienced, terrified, and fascinated with the beautiful displays in the sky, particularly in the pre-monsoon season. The display in the sky, right after watching the display, the flash, we often clutch our ears tightly with the fingers as we are very much terrified with the lightning. It is a very common phenomenon all over the world. Through the globe, it's a very common natural phenomenon. And it has been since the human life began on Earth, terrifying all the human races or human civilization all over. It's not only in Nepal, but all over the world. It has been terrifying, and people have been fascinated as well as terrified by the beautiful flashes in the sky. And as the human civilization has experienced lightning from the beginning of the civilization, in every human civilization, lightning has been incorporated, or it has been perceived as God's manifestation in every human civilization. If you know about the Hindu mythology that we have been following in Nepal or in this region, you might be aware that Lord Indra is carrying Vajra in his right hand, riding on elephant as his weapon or tool to hurl over some kind of people on earth. It is perceived in our mythology. Similarly, in various parts of the world, if you go to Scandinavian countries or in Norse mythology, Norwegian or northern countries mythology, then their god or a deity named Thor, if you have heard it, Thor is attributed for the flash. Thor with his Mjolnir, Mjolnir is hammer. So Thor is throwing his hammer or hammering on the top of the cloud to scare the people or people who have committed sin on earth. Similarly, if you go to Northern American tribes or the South African tribes, you will find in their mythology that the thunderbird, magical thunderbird called Umpundulo, is attributed for creating lightning. And so on in every mythology. If you go to China, in Chinese mythology, it is Tianmu, the goddess of one of the ministers of Ministry of Thunderstorm, led by Lei Kung, is attributed for creating lightning. So wherever in any civilization, if you go and look into the details of their mythologies, then you'll find the lightning is perceived as God's weapon to the common thing about all these civilizations is that the god throws their respective gods through the lightning flash, lightning, or thunderbolt as the weapon to punish the people who have committed sin. And consider if that had happened, if it was the weapon that kills the people who have been committing sin, then no people would be there who is committing sin on earth now. But, you know. So it's not only in the beginning of the human civilization, but right from right before the life on earth started, right before the biological life started on earth, the lightning was there. It's about 3 billion years ago. And it is considered that lightning was one of the causes of life that was started on earth. Because lightning in the presence of the atmospheric gases like hydrogen, nitrogen, and carbon, the flash creates a biomolecule called HCN, which is the basic building block of the life, any life, and so the human life. So it was there, and it has been troubling even today. And you might not know how many people are being killed by lightning every year over the globe, and even in Nepal. Because our focus is not there. That is why it is a creepy killer. Do you know how many people are being killed by lightning on the average in Nepal? It's still not that much common that people know about it. And not even in the whole globe. So, if I tell you that the number of people that have been killed by lightning on the average every year, from the demographies that are available on the literature, then over 6,000 people are being killed by lightning in every year over the globe. And if we consider the whole globe, then that number, because the demography is available only for 28 countries so far. And if we elaborate that number, extrapolate that number, it will be around 24,000 people that are being killed by lightning every year. Whereas in Nepal alone, it's 108 people on the average. 108 people on the average are being killed by lightning, and it is the highest killer after earthquake. Please do remember, it is the highest killer, or the most potential killer after earthquake in Nepal. 108 people on the average each year. And that number, if you look at the whole globe so far, that from the data that are available so far, after African 5 countries, first Malawi, second Zimbabwe, third Swaziland, fourth South Africa, Nepal stands 5th in the world ranking of lightning fatalities per million every year. So we are on a very, very prone zone of lightning. Yet we don't know about how many people are being killed, because our concentration is more on flood and landslides. But lightning is it is a kind of creepy killer. It kills one person in the east, next person in the west, and people are not considered as it is not killing in mass. So it is a creepy killer. Now, it has been challenging even today. Although in the developed countries, the number of fatalities are quite low, but in developing countries, it's very high. As I told you, Nepal stands 5th in the whole globe. And even in South Asian region, Nepal is ranking number 1, leading all India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and so. And even China. In China, it's only 0.3 persons per million that are being killed by lightning, whereas in Nepal, it's about 4 people per million per year being killed by lightning. So this is a creepy killer. Now, is there any way that we can make the people protected from lightning? Is there any way? Yes. The scientific study on lightning began long back, scientific lightning, although we might know that our temples that are being erected on the hilltops are somehow protected, whether knowingly or unknowingly, or it was practiced, we don't know about it. But it has been there since the time we don't remember. So as long as the temple was there was a kind of protective measures. But the study we do now, what we call scientific study, that began in 1752, after Sir Benjamin Franklin, who started claiming that, who proposed that lightning is nothing but an electrical discharge that takes place in the atmosphere. So it is proven with the two very, very famous experiments. One is called famous kite experiment that was carried out by Benjamin Franklin himself, and the other experiment was carried out in Méry-la-Ville in France the same year, 1752. From those two experiments, it was proved that the lightning is nothing but atmospheric electrical discharge, and that the current, it creates a path, or the high voltage in the atmosphere creates electrical discharge through which a heavy current, high current flows from one region to another region, between the clouds, from cloud to ground, or from cloud to even towards the ionosphere. So there are several kinds of lightning. And from that experiment on, the lightning was proved to be natural phenomenon. It was not any longer God's manifestation. It was a natural phenomenon, and this has been challenging us since the time immemorial, and still we have been facing these challenges. And as I told you, even today, the number of fatalities in Nepal is more than 108 on the average. And it's not only the human beings that are being killed by lightning, but also the animals. If you remember, a few months back, there was an incident on the district Rukum, or Rolpa, where the Kushe Patan is there. There, 500 sheep were killed by a single thunderbolt. It's there over our region. Not only that, lightning damages or destroys the structures. If you recall, few years back in Swayambhunath premise, the Pratapur temple was damaged by lightning. Similarly, there are so many incidents, so many gadgets, or so many electronic and electrical gadgets are being damaged by lightning, and although we notice it that there could be some sort of over voltage, high voltage, or whatever, it was mainly due to lightning, and it has been creating challenges for the electronics and electrical equipments, but we just notice it and forget about it. So currently, we have, after Benjamin Franklin's discovery, we have the protective measures against lightning. It's not that we just notice it and let it go, but we now have a very nice protective measures that can be taken against the lightning. We can protect our structures, we can protect our gadgets, and so. But for that, we don't have to have any fanciful things or anything. It's simply the metallic rods that our ancestors used to use, like copper trishul on the rooftop, and then copper strips or the earthing system. So that simply, if installed scientifically, that simply protects our structures. And similarly, there are gadgets like surge protective gadgets that can save our equipments, appliances, but provided that we need them, we use them or install them properly, scientifically. This is only thing. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.